Hey, what's going on? It's your boy Money Mark out here chilling with just one of the homies, one of the crew,
Oh man,
one of the
what's the
dudes.
one?
That's the one. We have Lifestyle Flashy, aka Just Chris. Yeah, that's what we're gonna do. Just Chris. We're just gonna combine both of them shit. In fact, that's what I'm
AKA
gonna tell you from now on.
just
Just
Chris.
Chris. Just Chris. I gotta make a face when I do it, like just Chris. Um,
Hey,
and then it's your boy Money Mark. I think I already said that. So cool. There's not another third person. I'm just used to introducing somebody else. But anyways, so this is another episode of the Logical Crazy Talk podcast. Thank you guys for tuning in with us. I appreciate it. We've been on a little bit of a hiatus, and then open up back outside. And we've just been having hot bad summers, I guess, or
hot
things like
dad
that.
summer. Is that what you said?
Apparently that's the thing, bro. Apparently that's the thing, and I'm trying to figure out what it is. But
Hot
I have
dad
actually a
summer.
funny story. I have a funny story. Actually, I had my first game of 21 post pandemic. Man, but we'll talk about that later.
Game of
Jumping
20.
into that, yeah, game of 21, brother.
Oh,
Game of
all right. I got
21. Well, when we get to the pandemic conversation, we'll jump into all that. But anyways, man, you've been watching these fights, Chris. You've been paying attention to what's going on in these fights. You got these YouTubers out here throwing these hands,
you. You
throwing
do. You got
hands with
YouTubers
everybody.
throwing hands. You got Floyd Mayweather throwing hands. You got Chad Johnson, Ocho Cinco getting his ass knocked the fuck out and jumping up like, oh, good hit, dog. Like, goddamn, yeah, we know. We saw it.
For those of y'all that don't know, all right, so the fight game is in disarray. Disarray. So since the pandemic's happened, like new forms of like entertainment, I think this is the most susceptible we've been to new forms of entertainment than we've ever been. It seems like anything that's new, like if you think about it, versus probably would have been a thing like 3 or 4 years ago, but now versus is like a huge thing. I didn't watch Trina versus Eve because obviously Eve was gonna smoke Trina because obviously. But anyways, but
Damn.
it's a thing, huh?
Damn.
Uh, bruh, Trina just looks good. I'm sorry.
Yo, good fuck. I can't even fight you on that one. I was gonna say, well, Trina was the baddest bitch in the world back in the day.
Like, she just looks good. I mean, in the house, and then like and, like both of them are trick daddy on it. Like, I mean, I wasn't into I'm single again, back on the prowl. Like, I wasn't into that. Eve at least has a couple songs like "Who's That Girl?" No, 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 no. I can't. I don't know how to have shake, but I thought
Why
that
were
was
you
cool.
into that, Mark? What
You know
was
why I was
that
into
song
that?
for
You
you?
know why I was into that because I despite my husky feature, I used to like I used to dance. So
It goes,
that was that. Yeah, exactly. I had to figure out the Harlem Shake. I had to figure it out, and that was one of the few videos that showed the heart. Because like it was two videos. It was Let's Get It, and it was Who's That Girl? And those two videos. No, and then there was a Special Delivery, but Let's Get It and Special Delivery. Those were the advanced Harlem Shakers. So they were out here like tossing things up, doing all types of stuff. And then, that was a little too much for me. But like, Who's That Girl? They had like basic, like, okay, 1 and 2 and Harlem Shake. And I was like, oh, okay, I can figure that out. Yeah.
2 and not that do it like this, and we are on the
And
move.
like this. I remember one time I was practicing. I was out in front of my homeboy's door. He had one of those glass doors that you kind of see, and I was because they were talking, and I was kind of practicing. And my homeboy's like, "Mark, what the fuck are you doing?" I was like, "What? You over here practicing the Harlem Shake, nigga?" I was like, "No."
You weren't allowed to practice.
Nigga, I got lit up. I was the only dancing nigga on my crew, so
So
it's like
niggas
I didn't
knew
have
how
a
to do it.
crew. Yeah, I didn't have a crew of you guys serve niggas where we just sit there and pop lock together. No, I was the only nigga that was trying to figure out how to dance, and the other niggas were looking at me like, "What? This big nigga is tripping." Neither here nor there. Anyways,
What's he doing?
ribbon. Anyways,
That's
moving
very
forward.
funny though. That because
Well, yeah.
think about real quick, like think about like back in the day, like
Think about it, as long as you know
back
me,
in
I
the day.
was always the nigga that would go out and dance. I was always the nigga that went out and dance.
Shit. I just think about the niggas way back in the day that had to do like the temptation shit, like dum dum dum. And like there'd be a song that broke out and like the friends jumped out there and be like, "Oh, we got this one." Like, nigga, how long did they practice in a basement somewhere? And like, nigga, you off beat. God damn
Yeah,
it.
me. You're bumping into me. You're stepping up my shoes.
You
How
got to
many
be
people
cool.
how many really good singers got knocked out of these R&B groups because they couldn't hit the 1-2?
I talk to my dad sometimes, and he's like, "Yeah, me and all my brothers used to practice shit before we went to the club. We used to win all my dance contests." I was like, what? I was like, you telling me y'all sat in the house for 10 hours and practiced a dance routine?
Bro, some people did, bro. I didn't want to start this podcast with a tangent, but hey, there's only two of us, so might as well, right? No, all bets are off. But anyways, there's a homeboy, and I'm not going to say his name because you might actually know who this fella is. But we had a homeboy. He was from Detroit, right? Fella, he he went to Oakwood, and them Oakwood cats are well, we don't need to really get it. We don't need to get specifics, but the Oakwood cats are very into. They're a little different. They're just a little different, essentially. And I think he's from the Michigan area. That fella, he knew how to dance, but he knew how to like dance. Like, you don't look now, then you gonna find out. And I guess wherever he was from, that was cool. Like, they just go out and they would, pop, lock, and do all the other stuff. Mind you, we're in A&M in the crunk era, so niggas is not pop locking for real. Niggas is they're out of moshing, or they're trying to jump on a girl, or they kind of just kind of bouncing or whatever. No one is doing choreographed dance moves, right? You got served. We're past that you got served there. And I guess he didn't know. And I guess so. We
didn't know. He had no idea.
Yeah. So me and my homeboys, like I said, right, we all worked at Burger King together. One homeboy is gonna cry about this. Let me tell you the story. So we all worked at Burger King together, right? And my homeboy ran into another dude that happened to see him at the club, and he was just like, "Bro, what's up with your man?" She's like, "What you mean? What's up with your man?" Like, I don't know what happened, but these niggas came in, right? First of all of us are wearing like our bows and our Jordans and whatever. These niggas came on in like suits and shit. It's like, oh, really? Yeah. And then like out of nowhere, like the music cut on, and these niggas just got in the middle, and they just start breaking it down. And like everybody was kind of looking, like the girls were kind of just looking like, okay.
What do we do?
It was like that episode of Top of the Yard where a man just comes out of nowhere like, indeed, and he just jumps on top of the speaker. He's just like, walk it out. Battling everybody. Like, I just feel like they got to a point with dancing with your hands, which is unnecessary.
I really believed one day I was gonna be me. I was like, you know what? I'm gonna go to a college party and I'm gonna fuck everybody up. I'm gonna show them all. And I decided the first club I went to, I was like, nope, won't do that.
But this is the thing, right? I was never confident enough to run out there and do no stupid stuff like that. I was never confident enough to run out there and do anything stupid like that. I would look around and I'd be like, because I knew how to do a lot of that stuff. I knew how to do a lot of that stuff. But I looked and I was like, first and foremost, right, let's just say this, the Chicagoland area, we were into juking, right? If you're from the Chicagoland area, you know what juking is, you know what it is. Basically, we're into just dry humping each other to very aggressive music on the dance floor. That's what, I don't know why Chicago's into that, but that's what Chicago's into. Well, it is what it is. So I just like to dance because, I don't know, I watch too many music videos. I don't know. Like, I was just
dance with somebody.
Basically. So I figured coming out here, one of the two things are going to happen. Either I was going to win a pop locking contest or something, or I was going to get, juked on the entire time. What I realized is that, the Southern dynamics are just a little different. Like, it's just a little different. So I never ran out there and did nothing. What I basically did, I just kind of watched everything. And because I was into dancing privately, whatever dance I saw someone doing,
Dance
I
in the
could pick it
shower.
up in basically whatever dance I saw somebody doing, I could pick it up in like 2 seconds. Like there was like the Cincinnati dudes had the Down the Way, which unless you're from Cincinnati, you don't know anything about the Down the Way. The St. Louis dudes came in and they came in with that.
Oh, that's a pancake. I know what that is. I did that one. I was a motherfucking. You hit him up.
And then the snap music, that so I just whatever I saw everybody do it, I can do it.
Doom, doom, doom. That was a thing back in the day,
I
man.
was
I
like,
remember that shit. Soldier Boy shit. No, Lil Jon, Lil Jon. So they all have the same dances. It's just a repeat
no,
of itself.
it was the franchise boys. We don't honor the franchise boys anymore, but it was the franchise boys. That was the first time we saw it. It was Lean with it, rock with it.
Lean with it,
And
rock with it.
that's what it was. But it is what it is. But let's get back into what we're actually supposed to be talking about. So
fight.
yeah, man. So yeah, I just feel like now because of the pandemic, everybody was thirsty for content. They were thirsty for something to take their attention off of what was going on, and I feel like it created a perfect environment for these Triller fights. Which is funny how Triller was like the face of these fights, and now it's like, no, we're going to Showtime.
Yeah, I think Showtime had a better. I
No.
think Floyd Mayweather had a lot to do with that, though.
Yeah, I think so. So it was like, hey, money, and they're like, we like money, and then I think they went over to Showtime. So yeah, so now we got the Paul brothers. All this stuff is spawned by the Paul brothers. I'll say this: I was on YouTube earlier today. I think it's interesting that you brought this up in pre-production. I was on YouTube today. I saw some sort of boxing event, so I clicked on it, and then all of a sudden, for something made me look at the header of the top of the YouTube video. It was like social gloves, and I was like, social gloves, and then the comments was like, these two YouTubers. I was like, these YouTubers have a boxing league now.
Yep.
Thank you. No, thank you.
I don't know who. I know. My nephew put me on DDG, so I fuck with him now.
Okay. So yeah, I saw DDG. That was DDG fighting some other dude.
Yeah, and I was like, he actually they look decent. They don't look like I wasn't it wasn't looking like two niggas in the hood fighting. It wasn't like so terrible.
One out here looking like bum fights.
Yeah, it wasn't bad, but I was just like, okay, cool. Like, I just feel bad for like the real boxers. I guess that's my whole niggas that put their real lives into this is like you let a nigga that has now they got a shit ton of followers. That's what makes this shit like amazing. But yeah, this nigga's in box his whole life and he can't get a regular boxing match for $20,000. And these niggas are coming on boxing for 6 weeks and like shit, I made 300 million.
$3,000 million.
I was like, God damn.
Thousands of millions. We made thousands of millions.
But
yeah, bro.
Like the Paul brothers, like that's like the one of the highest paid boxers, and besides Floyd, like, and they did that in 6 months, like a year.
They did, bro. They did. Jake knocked out Nate. So no one was giving those guys any burn until Jake knocked out Nate. He knocked out Nate, and then for some reason there was like this visceral response because just because Nate is athletic doesn't make him able to throw hands, which was apparent that Nate couldn't throw hands. No offense to Nate. He just didn't. And then there's also reports that I think Nate, to start his athletic blackness, was just going to beat that dude. And that dude was actually training with like people who actually know how to throw hands. He was training with Shannon Briggs. He was training with other individuals. And, there are people actually showing him how to throw a punch. So, and then Nate was just like rushing at that dude without no type of like just fuck skill. I guess he just thought his blackness was gonna knock him out.
I think he did. I think he just thought I'm more athletic, I'm more built and stronger, and he didn't put into any. He didn't think like this guy. I think boxing is a different type of sport. You can't just go out there and think you can hop, leap, and jump.
Dude, listen, Clarissa Shields just had her first MMA event on. I think it was Thursday. Yeah, her first MMA event. And she won, but the reason why I'm bringing this up is this. So there was a point in time where whoever the girl was she was fighting, was like using her grappling skills, and she kept like basically she was getting ass beat the first 2 rounds, right? But there was points of time where like Clarissa was able to reverse and she was able to stand up, and she was like, "Fuck that, I'm keeping you off of me," and she just started throwing combinations just to keep old Shorty off of her. And the level now, mind you, Clarissa Shields is. I mean, if you're into boxing, you know who Clarissa is, and you know that Clarissa is probably one of the best female boxers ever. But she just started throwing combinations, and old girl, like you saw, old girl's face. Well, oh hell no! Like the hand speed was crazy. And you know the thing about fighting is that when you feel that whip, yeah, you feel the power of the whip. It's like, oh heck, immediate, like, like no, this shit's too real. So no, and honestly, I used to be one of those individuals because I was super into MMA, more so that I was into boxing. I was one of those individuals that was just like, man, you know, MMA fighters are just their boxing is just as good as boxers, and I was like, no, no. Especially at that elite level. Like there's some guys who can strike. I think there's some guys that can strike with anybody in the world. Like I feel Israel Adesanya can strike with anybody in the world. Anybody. I feel he can. But like when you're looking at like legendary tier, like I feel like Clarissa Shields is a legendary tier boxer. Like she's a Hall of Fame boxer, and she's of that tier already. I mean, she didn't beat everybody, so it's not like already it's like a big crazy thing to say. Like I think Clarissa's there. It's like she just started throwing hands, and old girl was like, she didn't even know what the hell was happening. She was just like, okay, so you're done now, so I'm just gonna put you on the ground because fuck that.
I'm not getting hit anymore.
Fuck that. We're not even gonna entertain any of that hand shit you're doing. We're just gonna go ahead, put you up against the cage, and we're gonna do that. So yeah, to say that, like, yeah, if you're not training, there's a certain level of like speed that's given to that a boxer earns over the course of time, as well as like you are learning how to punch. Like Western boxing is the greatest form of just hand to hand combat as far as just punches are concerned. They've essentially taken that concept of throwing a punch, and they've basically just maximized it. There's no other, form. There's no other hand-to-hand form that has proven to have better punches than Western boxing, which is what it is. There's other forms of combat that may have a more complete style, like Taekwondo or karate or whatever the case may be. But as far as just throwing hands, like a karate dude versus a boxer's going to light that dude up.
Oh yeah, if he can only do one thing, yeah, 100%. That's why I was like, I watch these guys and I'm like, it sucks to be a real boxer because it's like you're done. Like no one's watching you, nigga. I much rather watch 2 YouTube niggas fight. At least I know who they are.
And I think that's what it is. I think it's just that recognized, but you know who they are. So there's that whole thing of can they really box? There's that whole thing of will they go pro? And then these companies are just betting off that model. I think that a lot of the younger up and coming, listen, boxing has been on the verge of being extinct for a while now. And Dana and them came around. First of all, when the WWE came around, let's keep it real. When the WWE or WWF at the time came around, people were like, shit, these niggas are jumping off ropes and, give me a hell yeah. And,
they just wanted to believe in something. It looked cool. It was like, okay, fine.
Listen, let me say this: I am not of the ilk of making like WWE or the wrestling fake. Because at the end of the day, yes, it's a stage. Yes, do we understand who's going to win? Yes, but you still have to train to take a bump, and that should hurt.
We're not saying that. But you watch WWE and then watch a UFC fight. You're like, oh.
No, there is a drastic difference there.
I don't want to be over there.
Tell you a funny story. I'm super into the UFC and shit, right? I was watching one of these videos, interviews with Dana White, and Dana White was talking about at one point in time, the UFC used to run their events on Mondays because they didn't want to compete with anything else, and they run a lot of I think it was like the Ultimate Fighter. I think they used to run the Ultimate Fighters on Mondays. And apparently, Dana White got a call from Vince, and Vince was like, "Okay, so why would anybody want to watch my fake show when your real show is on at the same time?" I basically punked that dude. Well, not punked him because we're young. We're just we're just getting started, Dana. Please, basically convince Dana to like change it. I think to Thursdays and Wednesdays or some shit like that. So obviously, you're right. There's going to be appeal. Honestly, once you look at it, you go, "Oh yeah, there's a difference. There's a drastic difference."
There's drastic difference.
Especially when you see wrestlers do actual submission holds, and then you're looking at like the UFC, and you see how much more visceral it look. Like I was watching the main event this weekend, and some dude got his arm dislocated, like literally hanging.
See, that's
I had to hold it like this. I had to hold it like this. Literally hanging.
That's unfortunate.
Yeah, brother. Sorry, it was a brother too. Man, oh man. So yeah, man. I mean, I hear you. I feel that. But I think boxing because boxing has always played the games that it's played, the fans have always lost interest. Like the fact that we haven't had Terrence Crawford versus Errol Spence is like, what are we doing?
Yeah, isn't he supposed to fight like Pacquiao next? Spence?
The fact that Gervonta Davis hasn't fought Lomachenko. The fact that
I get your point there, yeah. But it's also like, isn't it like the fighters themselves too trying to set themselves up? Like, I know there's certain situations where they have to fight certain people first because they already offered them that rematch, or I could pay you out, and it's like that gets that gets in the way of a lot of shit too.
That's not the major thing that gets in the way of a lot of things is this, right? There is promoters. The promoters make these situations a little bit harder because, for instance, like the reason why Anthony Joshua and Deontay Wilder didn't happen is because Anthony Joshua is with the Zone and Deontay Wilder is with, I guess he's independent, but he normally fights on Showtime. So Deontay Wilder is independent, so he can set the terms. Him and his management team can set the terms and still not the contract. Anthony Joshua is under not Bob Arum. Is it Bob Arum? He's under whoever he's under. And that's where the clash happens, right? Because Anthony Joshua wants to fight Deontay Wilder. Even Deontay Wilder has said it. Like, I don't think he's scared. I just don't think that he makes those decisions. Like, I think he has to fight, with the man. So it's usually the management. It's usually the management.
Like slavery, like, Jesus.
I mean, bro, and you gotta think about it, man. Like, I mean, this is a sport that was very entrenched in organized crime, all this other stuff. There's so much money on the table. Even still, while we're talking about how boxing is declining in popularity and how pay-per-view numbers probably are going to start declining and have already declined, boxing is still generates so much money, so much old school money. So much old school money is being changed that it is what it is. Unfortunately, it's just taking these YouTube niggas to just jump in to make people go, why I gotta wait for this? I don't care what Gervonta did. I want to see who Jake Paul fights. I want to see what Logan Paul
do, but like if all these rappers or niggas that have beef were like, well, we just go on celebrity death match and fucking box it out, like that would be a fucking thing. Like that old ass cartoon would be real.
I think that's where we're going. By the way, I mean, like looking at Chad Johnson. Looking at Chad Johnson over here fighting whoever he was fighting was just kind of like.
I think he was like a bare knuckle brawler or some shit like that. It was silly for him to even think that was a thing for him. But
I heard he was doing good until he wasn't.
I heard he was doing fine until he wasn't doing fine. I heard he was doing good until he lost.
He was doing good until he wasn't. I mean, but that happens in any combat sports, man. Sometimes you're fine, and then someone hits you with something. Like, oh, I don't know what that is. Pow! Oh shit! There you go.
Then they can jump right up and try to dap him up like, good job. Like, nah, nigga, get your ass, figure that out. Figure yourself out first, big dog. Same thing with the Floyd fight. It was just like Jake and
Logan. It was Logan. That one was Logan.
Oh, Logan, whichever one it was. He was like, that didn't knock me out. Like, my nigga, you were fucked up. Like, you were zoomed over. Like Floyd was like, "Hey, my boy, you got like 4 more rounds. Like, get your ass up."
I think Floyd chose not to knock him out. Number one.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. If you look at Floyd, did you see the clip?
I didn't see the clip. No, I saw the clip of him just throwing these like crazy punches.
Yeah, when he's throwing those crazy punches, right? Floyd's eating them, and then like they're back to boxing, and Floyd hits him with like a right that's like kind of behind his neck a little bit, but it was like it whipped him, and he just completely like he fell over and he was like slumped over it, but Floyd held him up. And, like, you see Floyd do this, like, get your ass up, nigga. And it looks bad because Floyd is holding him up, like, come on, no, don't do this. You have to see the clip. You have to.
Like, no, friend.
He literally holding him up for like a couple seconds, like yo. Like he can tell you, like, yo, my nigga, you got 4 more rounds. I bet too much money on this for you to get out knocked out right now. He said you wouldn't.
I'm gonna be a betting spread, nigga. What you doing? I bet you'd make it to the 12th round. And I'm gonna carry you, but you can't.
He's like,
haven't you been trained? Like, you can't take a punch. Like,
my nigga's knees went weak. Well, his knees went weak and his arms hit the canvas. Like he just drooped over like this.
You know the funny thing about Floyd is never a knockout artist. He's not a knockout artist, which kind of speaks to just like, huh?
He's precision. He hit you at a point, and it's just like, what the fuck was that?
Yeah, no, Floyd is. Listen, there are fighters that I like better than Floyd, but it's hard to argue what Floyd is. Like, if he's not number one, he's like 1A, like 1B or 2A or whatever the case may be. Like, Floyd is. He does everything perfect. He's too well schooled. He just understands boxing way better. And then for a lot of people who've been complaining about how Floyd looked in the fight, what was Floyd supposed to do? Like Logan had to give him something. Like, I didn't give him anything. He was like, well, I can't just knock you out like in the first or second round. Like, on top of that, that's a big dude, right? That's a very big dude. I'm not gonna let you knock me out neither, right? I ain't going out like this. I ain't taking a bump of this shit.
What is it, Logan? He's like what, 6'2", 210 pounds, some shit like that.
Floyd fought a heavyweight. He fought a heavyweight.
Basically,
that nigga was a heavyweight because he made his weight, whatever weight they agreed upon, and you know they blew him back up. Right. Floyd fought a heavyweight. He did. That's all I'm saying.
I just don't understand, like, because it's like they still thought that they could. He's like, I beat Floyd, like my guy.
Who Jake did? Jake said that. Logan just said there was a victory just lasting.
When you see shit like that, it's like people go, you know what? He could have beat Floyd. And you want to say to those people like, what? You think this nigga could what? And then what's the nigga he fought before KSI? Is that his name?
Yeah.
He was like, I must be the best boxer. He's like, I must be the best boxer ever. I guess he has a point there, huh?
That's a solid point. I'm the greatest boxer in the world.
I must be the greatest. Like you have to watch the fight and go, I'd be that.
Oh, that's crazy. Floyd is something else, man. You can't. At the end of the day, man, those guys are going to say whatever they say, but anybody knows what happened. It is what it is. Like, listen, this is what I'm going to say this. Conor McGregor, I know he's a punchline now. When Conor McGregor fought Floyd, he's a punchline now. But when Conor McGregor fought Floyd, he was for real. In any arena outside of boxing, Conor would beat the shit out of Floyd. At that time, he would have. But it was boxing, and Floyd is like one of the greatest at this sport. It made more sense only because Conor was a precision striker, right? Like if you watched him in the UFC prior to that, one of the reasons why Conor was better is not because he was stronger than everybody or he was like he was just a precision striker. He was one of the most accurate strikers in the UFC. Every time he threw, I think he was throwing at like a 60 or 70% clip. Like he was hitting everybody. Precision. Knocked him out. You know what I mean? So, and Conor was naturally bigger. So it posed, there was like, okay, maybe. And Conor is a fucking hurricane within the first 2 rounds. We saw what happened with Paulo Malignaggi. I'm pretty sure they weren't going for 12 rounds. I'm pretty sure they were only sparring for 1 or 2 rounds. And Conor's a motherfucker in 1 or 2 rounds. And 1 or 2 rounds, Conor is super dangerous, super duper dangerous. And it's not like he's throwing wild and crazy. He's precise and he hits you with precision. So it made sense.
It also made sense that he was the best in his class of whatever he's doing. He was one of the greatest MMA fighters.
John Jones was at the time,
but he was one of the best.
He was on the cusp of being one of the best, and he still is technically kind of one of the best. We can't. Nobody. Mixed martial arts is hard, and when you move up and you fight, you get a belt in 2 divisions. Kudos to you, right? So at that time,
he is. I give it to him, but it made more sense that he's in a combat sport.
But then he jumped in the ring with Floyd, and it was like I watched the fight again. He didn't do as bad as a lot of people said he did, and I think while a lot of people said that Floyd carried him, I do feel that Floyd understood that I cannot allow him to put me in. Like, Floyd didn't just walk up on him like he walked up on like Logan. He walked up on him, but he didn't walk up on him like that. Floyd walked up on him. They had a specific game plan that we're going to bring him into 8 rounds, which he's never been in, and then we're going to just go ahead and take him out. And that's what happened. I think they got him out in the 7th or the 8th round. And Floyd just started walking up on him, and he could just tell in the 5th and the 6th that his punches were less precise. He was less, whatever the case may be. You know what I mean? So it is what it is. But like when you watch him and you watch Floyd versus Conor, even Conor just looked like he should have been in there. Like we knew he was dangerous, but we knew that Floyd wasn't really in danger for real. Like we all knew what Floyd was doing. We all knew Floyd was right. You know what I'm saying? And when Conor was done, it was like Conor couldn't even defend himself. The ref had to stop the fight. It's not like Floyd knocked him out. The ref just said, "Son, you don't look like you know what you're doing. Let's go ahead."
Let's get out of here. let's try something else.
You have a whole career ahead of you. Let's not end it right here. Let's go ahead and just end it. And that's what happened. So, but Conor was legit. So I'm like, y'all thought Logan was gonna do something?
I'm saying, Logan didn't have a chance the entire fight. Like it just, he threw big heavy. Like he just over here just like throwing. And it was like, all right, well, cool, but I mean, it's nothing.
So I know you're not into UFC, but we're still on the topic of these fights. What do you think about Jake Paul versus Tyron Woodley?
Who's Tyron Woodley? I don't know who that is.
Nah, shit. Tyron Woodley is like probably one of the greatest middleweights in the UFC. I think he was a UFC champion for like 3 or 4 years.
What's he done lately?
He's lost his last 3 fights lately.
I think like when you start losing, it's like it fucks you up mentally. Like a lot of the niggas that start to lose is like they just get on this big, like fucking look at McGregor. Like it's just like it's hard to come back from that kind of shit. You know what I'm saying? And he's keep getting those L's. Like, why am I taking these L's? And like I don't think you have the same like dog in the fight because like I think you're looking at greatness, and I got all these L's on my fucking record. So I can't ever be one of the greatest now. They here whooping my ass all the time.
Well, I mean that's only recently Floyd made that reality. Beforehand, it wasn't like that. You have some L's in your record and still your body of work determines legend. And technically, you still are by the eyes of the individual sports you're in. But you're not going to be considered like Floyd, who went perfect who also played a lot of games.
You think he did?
Floyd played a lot of games, bro. Come on, Canelo. Like, come on. You saw what he did to Canelo. Nah, player. We need you to drop down to this weight.
What was it? What is that the original weight though?
He fought him in the catch weight. He fought Canelo in the catch weight. Canelo wasn't ready. Also, Canelo was still fresh out that Mexican school of boxing. He didn't like that. That Floyd fight taught Canelo to be who Canelo is right now. Canelo wouldn't be this Canelo if he hadn't fought Floyd.
Okay, so it's a good thing.
Uh,
The only other person no Terrence Terrence hasn't lost a fight, right?
Ooh.
Crawford.
I don't think he has, and I don't think Errol Spence has either. I don't think.
No, Errol, he hasn't. Neither has Gervonta.
Gervonta has lost.
No, he hasn't. Legit.
No, he hasn't. He doesn't have a loss in his record. He just missed weight, so he lost.
Yeah, he just missed weight one
So he
time.
lost.
I'd be thinking like sometimes you think 130 pounds. Like, God damn, these niggas a little.
Gervonta is at least 180, bro. Walking around, that dude's probably like 180. He's too bulky, bro. He's too bulky. He has too much power. That dude, when he's not training, is probably like 180. He's dropping like 50 pounds.
Jesus.
Vasily looks like he is that small. That's why when they were talking about Vasily versus Gervonta, I was a little worried. Because I was just like, that's a big nigga. That's a big dude to fight.
I mean, he don't really look that big though, for real. If you look at him, he looks like a normal. He don't look huge.
He's just very stocky, bro. Like you have to like I think he's at least 150. 150,
I give him 150. I give him 150. Walking around. 180 probably.
He's a bulky dude, bro. I'm pretty sure he's just draining himself, and he missed weight twice. He didn't miss weight twice.
Yeah. That also comes with who he's hanging around too. That nigga's like what, 22, 23 years old.
This is what happens with boxers, right? And I'm back to shenanigans. What happens with boxers is a boxer will see a weight that they look at the division and they go, well, shit, I could beat all these niggas' asses. I just have to stay in shape.
Yeah.
So you kill yourself because because when you go up, you end up like your boy
Broner.
Adrian Broner, or you end up like Roy Jones. Roy Jones should have never went up to light heavy. He should have stayed at middleweight. He would have reigned. He would have been Floyd. He would have been Floyd. He was Floyd before Floyd.
Yeah, he was.
If Roy Jones had stayed at middleweight, none of those niggas in middleweight could fuck with Roy Jones. He decided not to. He wanted to make history, and he wants to fight to light heavy.
I mean, you have to because my man's went up in weight and still won. Floyd did. He went up in weight and still.
But you have to think about it like this: Floyd went up to middleweight. Floyd never went up to catchweight. He never went up to like light heavy. Floyd went up to middleweight.
There'd be no reason. Tiny.
Because he would get his ass kicked.
Yeah, I'm sure you would. That's a different type of nigga, man.
Okay, so I'm just saying, like, if you think about it like this, I mean, I think Roy didn't start off in middleweight. I think he started off in a lighter weight than that. Went up to middle, and then I think he went up to light heavy.
I don't think he did, but you might be right. I think I don't know.
We have to look that up. Guys, tell us in the comments if Roy started at a lighter weight. I think Roy did start at a lighter weight. It's just, let's be anything that has heavy attached to it in boxing is a dramatic difference. Okay? Like, it's a dramatic difference.
I completely understand that.
Middle to heavy, light, heavy, anything. Okay, that's a dramatic difference. And I just feel that.
Well, I mean, it power-wise, but I mean, I still look at it like.
And the way
lightweight and featherweight. Huh?
The way Roy fought, he used his athleticism. Roy wasn't the most technically sound boxer. He was the most athletic boxer we've ever seen.
Yeah. That's true.
It still looked amazing.
Well, you talking about in his weight class? Because I think my man's pretty fucking athletic too. Tyson. So, I mean, in his weight class, Tyson was crazy athletic to be his size.
Well, go back and watch Roy. Go back and watch what Roy is doing. When's the last time you've seen some Roy highlight tape?
A couple months ago. I was listening to a song and I was like, This nigga was a rapper and got one off.
Got to be strong.
and he got one of these bitches off. Like he makes money from this shit to this day.
He came to one of these fights rapping his own song. Y'all look forgot. So I retire. Y'all look forgot.
Nigga was a wild motherfucker, man. Oh shit.
Yeah, man. He was on Ying Twins video. Boom, bitch, what's happening? What? Boom, it's on. These niggas will rock your bones. Boom, bitch, what's happening?
Not the yin yang.
Yeah, man. Body headbangers, man. He was fighting body headbangers, I believe. That was back when Cass was wearing the custom throwback jersey. Had that whole hood and they street on it.
Yeah, that's a question. I was like, if you buy a fake jersey, or is that like frowned upon? Because I was like, I'm not paying $200 for a fucking jersey.
Well, okay, so anything fake technically is frowned upon, but I'll tell you what. If you have, I think, so my personal opinion, if you buy something and it's of good quality, it doesn't matter.
Let me tell you something right now. I don't give a fuck what it is. I just wanted it for one day. So
I buy what I like. I buy what I like.
I thought about that the other day. I was like,
I got a pair of off-white sales, and them shits aren't real. But when I wear them shits, oh man, you got the off-white? Yeah, though. Yeah, though.
Shit, man, this ain't nothing. This is light day for me, cuz.
Light. Like how the battle rappers be whispering to each other in between rounds. Light. That's what it is, man. Yeah.
It's a light day, guys. Yeah.
Bro, come on, bro. Like, listen. Get out of here. You know how many people are wearing fake Jordans and they don't realize it?
I'm not gonna lie to you. I got a pair of Jordans from the other, like, couple months ago, or a month or two ago. I kept looking at my phone. These might be fake, but I don't know to this day. Like, shit, how am I supposed to know?
So many people out here walk around with fake Jordans and they have no idea.
So yeah, and they're like, unless you get the real ones right next to them. Like, well, I just bought these for the real price.
The counterfeit. Listen, we're not of the age of our parents where a bootleg is so easy to be spotted. A lot of different industries push the bootleg industry. One of the industries is the handbag industry. When Louis Vuitton is probably one of the most counterfeited handbags out there. It's super big in the Asian markets. When the counterfeits got to the point where they were so good because of course authentication, so on and so forth. When it got to the point they were so good that the Asian market decided to start, they purchased a fake one to go to the store, and then they'd keep the real one for like special events. That's when we knew. I was watching a blog, a sneaker blogger, and he was like, the major problem in the sneaker culture. He made it like it was alarm. It's like there's a major problem in sneaker culture, and he pulls up a pair of fake Travis Scott Jordan 1s. He's like, I can't tell that these are fake. Nigga, we made it.
I also be like, yo, here's the other fucked up part. It's like, if y'all niggas would stop buying all these shoes and like upselling them, we wouldn't have to buy fake ones. We all could get a pair of regular Jordans for the same price.
Listen, brother. Listen. I know how to spot a fake shoe. I know how to do it.
I feel uncomfortable buying fake shoes, but I my nephew, and I was like, you know what?
I know how to spot a fake handbag, and I know how to spot a fake shoe. And what you have to do to spot it, no one will know. No one will know unless you decided to do something foolish. Like, please, if you're gonna buy something, first of all, I say just buy what you like, buy what you can afford. Don't break the bank on something you can't afford. Buy what you like. If you like that individual thing, buy it. That's yours. It's your prerogative. Do that. What I will say to you is that at least know what the real one looks like. That's my only requirement for you. At least
you got the SpongeBob Jordans. Some niggas don't never came out, dog.
Just Google it. If you don't know, just Google it. Just do that. Just take 5 minutes.
You know SpongeBob Jordan ain't real.
Just take 5 minutes to Google it. That's all I ask you to do. That's all I ask you to do. That's it. Once you Google it, you kind of go, oh, okay, I get it. All right, that's not a thing. I probably should stop doing this.
Man,
and you'll stop doing it. That's all I'm saying.
I started thinking about that shit. Like, yo, I wore some Jordans that cost me $500 to a club, and I was like, I fucked them up, and I was like, yo, that's ridiculous.
You got some $60, got it in a month, and then you wouldn't have cared.
Yeah, wouldn't have cared at all. Would have like, and nobody would have said anything because it's dark.
Bro, no, it's not even about dark. Like I need people to understand that these shoes, these are not your parents' bootlegs. They pass the eye test. The only way you can tell my sales are fake is you have to turn it upside down and run your finger across the bottom of it.
Some days, hey yo, let me see you real quick. Come here. Let me see something.
I'm wearing them, so you're not going to be able to smell the glue smell. You're not going to be able to smell it. No one is passing around like obvious fakes no more. It's kind of like when the weed became legal. Now all the dudes that are selling weed on the street have fire because you can't sell bullshit. Because I can just wait in the line. Like, who's selling Reggie? Like, I have a neighbor, right? A neighbor kid, he's out here smoking, he smokes all the time. And it's like, why are you smoking Reggie? Like, what's going on in your life that you're smoking Reggie?
This is a good shit, man. He said, I'm just trying to be calm and cool.
You can literally go wait in line and get something decent. It's going to cost you a little bit more. But Reggie? What weed guy are you going to that's selling you Reggie? It's a different story. So, I mean, I don't know, man. That's, dudes are tripping. But, hey, man, this YouTube, back to the topic at hand. Yeah, we just went over the place. Some two of us, we can, right? We can do whatever we want.
We do what we want.
But anyways, yeah, back to the YouTube fighters, man. I mean, I think this is just yet another sign of it should be another wake up call to the boxing industry that we're getting tired of seeing the same thing. We're getting tired of waiting for the fights we want to wait for. UFC's out here making it in 2 seconds. We got these YouTubers who are willing to fight anybody. There's all this stuff that's competing for our attention now. And now less of our attention is going to be available because we're going to all start going back to work. So what am I going to go to? Am I going to take a chance on this fighter that I've never seen before? Or will I will I go ahead and buy the pay-per-view for the YouTuber who I know? And I'm curious to see if he can actually fight. People are paying for the YouTuber.
Yeah.
It's what's happening in the industry. Get off that Yana shit. Live at the Crazy Talk podcast, baby. Ain't no Yana around here.
Say what?
Get off that Yana shit.
Oh, my bad. Nigga, you want to fight? Shit, we hit a boxing match too.
You be my ass. You doing right now that 21, that game of 21 really made me realize I'm not. That pandemic fucked your boy up. your boy was nice before the pandemic.
A game of 21, man. One game. How many players? Just you two niggas?
No, I played three. I played three in total, but it's just aftermath, and then it was just like.
How many points you hit, Mark?
I had 12 in one, 15 in the other.
Okay, that's respectable.
Well, what happened is this: I airballed the first 2 shots, so people just assumed that I couldn't shoot, and then I just eventually.
Trash. It's trash.
And I mean, I airballed it. It was like,
watch this nigga.
It's like what they didn't know is that, like, when I was decent, I was a threat from beyond the arc. I could hit from beyond the arc, and I'm a bigger dude, so most people just assume that I'm just gonna. Like when you see a big dude, like a big husky dude shoot a 3, you just assume that he's just too tired to drive. That's what most people do who could play basketball.
That's a true statement. I give you that.
Yeah, that's true. anybody who hoops, they see a dude my size, my build, pull up from arc, they just assume that this tired motherfucker doesn't want to drive, right? So they immediately turn to go get the rebound. It happens all the time. I can shoot. So I was at a point where I was hitting my shots and I was pretty accurate. So, quiet as kept, in a game of like a full court game, I probably get like eight or 6 points if we're playing up to 12 or 13 or whatever the case may be.
Oh, so you can have the team's points. I'm like, you over here Steph Curry that motherfucker, huh?
Well, no, what happens is that, especially like, once again, if you see a big husky dude like me pull up in transition, you go, okay, whatever, dude. Like, you can turn around to go get the rebound.
Bullshit.
You turn around to get the rebound.
I'm trying to block it or get it out your hands. Like, man, give me this ball so I can take it back down the court.
Yes. I guarantee if we had played last year, like we were talking shit about, and if you saw me pull up in transition, especially if you played with me before, you would have turned around. There's no way you would have contested the ball. If you would put a hand up, you'd have done this, and that's it. You would not have jumped.
It depends on how tired I am. I'm an old man now. I have to pick and choose my battles.
You wouldn't do it. You'd just be like, this nigga go brick. Anyway, let me turn around and go get this rebound. That's it. After the first shot, now the people who really hoop, they would look and see me pull up and they go, okay, well, that doesn't look as bad as it's supposed to look. And then if it like rings around and goes in, you'd be like, okay, that might be a flip. You might give me one more. But if it goes dead center, you go, okay, you're not doing that again. Which I hate.
I don't give anyone a chance. I give everyone the benefit of the doubt. You brought your ass out here on the court. I don't give a damn if you're my grandma. If my grandma walked down the court, you finna get mistreated out here, grandma. You shouldn't walk your ass out here.
Like mistreated, Nana. You're getting mistreated, Nana. Yeah, man. Like I said, Chris. No, the only reason why I had respect for the numbers is because they, I airballed hella, so they're just like, I think I might have airballed like a layup or something, and they're like, oh, okay, this nigga's trash. Hey man,
I'd have done it. Nigga, you know you airballed that layup there.
What happened? Which one of y'all hit me?
Foul. Give me the ball back. Give me back. Come on. Respect my call, cuz. Come on.
You call foul on 21, he fouled me, bro. I'm just out here airballing.
Hey, dog, I just want my ball back, man. That's it. I ain't trying to mess around with y'all. Just give me the ball back. Be cool, all right? Shit, don't make this thing. Come on. He trying to walk back up the court. Come on. You wasting time.
Yeah, bro. So that's what I'm saying. Like, if you are, so if you see the individual like that do something like that, you're not gonna contest them from the arc, beyond the arc. You're not. I eventually kind of found my shot. So, you hit a three, you hit a couple free throws afterwards, you're in the game. They're all late when everybody kind of got tired and niggas are bricking. I was like, okay. Oh, you're gonna give me that? Thank you. Perfect. Pull up. I was like, oh, tuck the elbow in. I have enough time to remind myself to tuck the elbow in. Tuck the elbow. Ah, bam. Thank you. Appreciate that.
All I know is, I don't know. I'm competitive, so fuck all that. I'm not. I do.
I just gotta get myself in the state. I just gotta get myself in basketball state, bro. That's it.
That's what I've been doing lately. That's like the only thing I can do as far as like cardio. So I've just been like hooping my ass off lately. And it's like every day you get out there, like I got weird ass pains I never had before, but I guess because I'm old.
My back is just killing me. Like my back, so my lower back all the way down to like, I mean, no homo. But I shouldn't say no homo either. But my middle back all the way down to like the bottom of my ass, like right above like that lower back thigh. That shit.
That's why I said no homo, because that could have went all kinds of ways. But I get it. I understand what you're trying to say there.
Yeah, it was just like
crazy feet problem though. Like this inside of your foot, inside of my foot. But I think it's because I wear those Jordans. And
what Jordans are you hooping in? I'm hooping in Jordan 8s. I think that's the only pair that you can actually hoop in.
I got this. What's the last ones that just came out? The sixes, the gray and white ones that nobody really bought. The sixes, I think they are sixes.
No. Anyways, let's move on to the topics, bro. That's a stupid. You deserve to get a twisted. You deserve to have.
They're light. They're really really light. They have no cushion. They're super light though.
I think the eights are the best ones. They have the strap. Your ankle. You got ankle support. It's not super heavy. It's super secure.
Yeah, that's
In my
Actually,
opinion.
probably LeBrons are the best ones. I think comfortable, like to be comfortable. The LeBron 10s were my favorite.
I was playing my KDs, and those are definitely those KDs. Those multicolored KDs. And I wasn't playing. I was not supposed to be playing. I was not supposed to be playing. I came just to watch, and it was just like, "Are you gonna play?" And I was like, "I'll take a couple shots."
Man,